So the Poco X2 and the Realme X2 have similar names, and they also have the same processor, the Snapdragon 730G. So that will be interesting when we put them side by side. Which one do you think will actually win? Well, let's find out. So we have the Poco X2 with the Snapdragon 730G on the left-hand side. We have the Realme X2 with the Snapdragon 730G on the right-hand side. So on paper, these two should be fairly evenly matched. It's going to be interesting as we go through the different parts of the test, CPU, mixed, and GPU, to see which one is able to do better. Definitely a faster SQLite test there on the left-hand side. The Realme X2 looking quite pedestrian there compared to the Poco X2. That could have given the Poco X2 quite a bit of a lead now. That really was a faster SQLite test, as they are both now into the compression test. Let's see whether the Realme X2 can gain back any ground. It doesn't look like it's been able to do that. The Poco X2 is remaining in the lead as it's gone through the compression test. It's now into the 16-thread test. Now both of these, of course, are octa-core processors, so I'm not expecting many problems completing the multi-threaded test here, the 16-thread test. But as I'm saying that, the Poco X2 is still in the lead. However, maybe a slight catch-up there by the Realme X2. Maybe it's doing a bit better, but the Poco X2 is the first into the mixed CPU GPU test with the blur test there, as the Realme X2 is now into the blur test as well. This really is going to be neck and neck right until the very end, but the Poco X2 still in the lead at this moment. Now, of course, there are differences in the screens, in the pricing, in all kinds of things with these two phones. The camera system, there's more at stake here than just the performance, but today we're looking at the performance. What's the 18 frames a second on the left hand side, what we're going to get on the right hand side, 21 frames a second. So the Realme X2 doing better in the smoke particle test. Of course, this is the 2D part of how a GPU works. Now we're going into the 3D part. As we are now going into the 3D part, we see that the Poco X2 is in the lead still, and it seems to be doing very well. Notice it says it's 120 hertz. So the Poco X2 there is running at 120 hertz compared to the 60 hertz of the Realme X2. Look at the information there in the right hand side, or top right hand side of the frame. So the Poco X2 has completed the test first. It's now into the Unreal test. Of course, we're using Unity and Unreal to make sure we're covering the two major platforms for how 3D games are written for Android. And as the Poco X2 is now going through the forest, so is the Realme X2. Will it be able to suddenly make catch up? Will it be able to suddenly get there before the other one? As I don't think it will. I think really this is going to be the win for the Poco X2, but I've had surprises in the past. You can't guarantee anything until the final time comes up. Let's see what's it going to be. Who's going to get there first? There we go. 2 minutes 34.2 as we're waiting now for the X2. And as I said, there we go. 2 minutes 39.1. Okay, that was quite close. So let's break down the scores and see exactly what happened. So as you saw there, the Poco X2 won with a total time of 2 minutes 34.2, and almost 5 seconds later came in the Realme X2 with 2 minutes 39.1. So what happened? On the CPU, we can see a clear win by the Poco X2, 59.8 compared to 1 minute 4.8 for the Realme X2. When we get into the mixed CPU GPU, we did notice there was a higher frame rate for the Realme X2, and that's reflected now in the score here. 32.1 for the Poco X2, but 30.1 for the Realme X2. And then when we get to the GPU, 1 minute 2.2 compared to 1 minute 4.1. So another win this time for the Poco X2. So a win in the CPU, a win in the GPU, a loss in the mix. But when you add up all those times together, 2 minute 34.2 makes the Poco X2 the overall winner. My name is Gary Sims, this is SpeedTest G. I really do hope you enjoyed this test between the Poco X2 and the Realme X2. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy these kind of tests, well, stick around and subscribe to the channel. Okay, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.